All right. We have a situation where Donald Trump held a meeting with the president of my birth country of Argentina. It was so unhinged and so deranged. Yes, Trump shot out another tonsil stone. This is not primarily a show about dentistry and oral health, but why not, right? When life gives you lemons, you do something with them. Let's take a look at some of the things that were said. And of course, Donald Trump, furious that George Stephanopoulos had the audacity to follow up when J.D. Vance refused to answer questions, Trump attacking George Stephanopoulos. Remember, they don't want real journalism. They want fluff journalism.
Take a couple of questions from the news, and I'm sure they'll be extremely non-hostile and friendly. Like J.D. went through a very friendly interview with George Stephanopoulos, who was nice enough to pay me $16 million the last time we came. He had to pay $16 million to me, which was good. It was worth having somebody lie. If you get $16 million, that's good.
He wants friendly questions. He said it right there. That's his standard for what is appropriate. And the reason why that's what Trump's media standard is because he wants to tell lies like this one without anybody ever questioning it.
And you had the greatest inflation. The last administration had the greatest inflation in the history of our country. And now, as you know, groceries are down. It's all down.
And of course, groceries are not down. In fact, groceries, a category where prices have continued to increase even faster than the overall inflation rate. The reason Trump is so antagonistic of the media is because he only wants easy questions. He wants fluff. He wants to be able to say grocery prices are down and for everybody to go, yes, sir, they sure are. Trump refusing, in fact, to take questions from ABC over that interview.
Your ABC fake news.
First of all, congratulations.
I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there you go. And instead he calls on Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, Brian Glenn, who says, yes, sir, I am ready with a complete and total fluff question. Now, note the authoritarian fiasco here. What ABC News did is ask a question. Did Tom Homan accept the $50,000? And if so, has he given it back? J.D. Vance didn't want to answer the question. So he said he didn't take a bribe. Well, that wasn't the question. Whether it's a bribe is a legal question. The question is, did he accept the 50 grand? And J.D. Vance spent 2.5 minutes not answering the question. Ultimately, after asking it 4 or 5 times, George Stephanopoulos ended the interview. And they call that bad. They don't like that because they want fluff. Now, Trump also played up the mobster style stuff, during which he threatened to take World Cup games and maybe even Olympics events away from Boston, away from Los Angeles, away from whoever doesn't bend the knee and pray at the very smelly altar of Trump.
I can
Mr. President, Boston had some street takeovers that we saw. Are you going to work with or try and work with the mayor of Boston? And then they have a World Cup. They have several World Cup games. I know Argentina knows about World Cups. They have several World Cup games. Could those games move to cities that do?
I do have to say, we do know a little something about World Cups in Argentina. That's true. I like that.
We could take them away. I love the people of Boston. I know the games are sold out, but your mayor is not good. There are worse than her. At least she's intelligent. You know, some are extremely low IQ. Those bother me more. She's intelligent, but she's radical left. And they're taking over parts of Boston. That's a pretty big statement, right?
You know, Boston, as far as cities go, is extraordinarily safe.
We could get them back in about 2 seconds. All she has to do is call us. We'll go in and take them back. But she's afraid to because she thinks it's bad politically. She could take them back, too. The Boston police are great. I know, they love me. She'll never tell them to go after Trump because they love me and I love them. And I got a tremendous police vote and military vote, you know, and fireman vote, all of them. No, I think she is hurting Boston. The answer is yes. If somebody is doing a bad job, and if I feel there's unsafe conditions, I would call Johnny, the head of FIFA, who's phenomenal, and I would say, let's move it to another location.
Wow.
And he would do that. He wouldn't love to do it, but he'd do it. Very easily he'd do it.
Yeah. You know, Trump will never do this. Trump is friends with the owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft. These World Cup games are set to be played at Foxborough, at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Foxborough is nearly an hour outside of Boston. It has nothing to do with Mayor Michelle Wu. It has nothing to do with Boston PD. And there is no way that Donald Trump is going to screw his friend Robert Kraft by moving the games, but he's got to pretend that he is going to. Now, during the Boston talk, this is sort of like, this is a side issue. This is not the main thing. But Donald Trump did appear to fire out another tonsil stone while speaking, and you see it go there. It is really wacky and nasty stuff. And while this is not, as I mentioned, primarily a show about oral health, why not? Donald Trump does seem, as we add to the various ways in which Donald Trump is struggling, one of those is he regularly appears to fire out tonsil stones during public speaking. Okay, Trump continues to struggle to understand or hear questions, needing multiple clarifications on this one from J.D. Vance.
Would you like to visit Argentina soon? There is an invitation for that.
What does that mean?
Do you like to visit Argentina soon?
I do. I would love to. I'm just a little busy. I would love to. I'd love to go to Argentina. I'd like to be like Biden. I'd like to go to the beach. You know?
All right. And then Trump really struggling to hear and needing to, this is the one where JD interprets for him.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week you said that NATO should consider expelling Spain.
What?
You said that NATO should consider expelling Spain. Would you support that?
What is going Spain?
NATO consider expelling Spain.
Oh.
Kicking him out of NATO.
I'm very unhappy with Spain.
There you go. So Trump increasingly struggling either to hear or to understand questions. It's never, or both. It's never totally clear, but making a fool out of himself, but not to be outdone by himself. Donald Trump then went to a ceremony for Charlie Kirk, and that is when it really got bad. If you were shopping for a new mattress, I would recommend you start by looking at Helix Sleep, the mattress I've been sleeping on for years, the only one that I recommend because they custom tailor it to your needs. I took their sleep quiz. It took a minute or two. I said, oh, you know, I like to sleep on my stomach. I tend to feel hotter in the middle of the night rather than colder. I like medium firm. And Helix just nailed it, matched me with the perfect mattress. Most people don't even know where to start when you're looking for a mattress, and Helix just makes it easy. There is really no substitute for the mattress that's right for you. Your body will thank you. Delivery was fast. Setup was easy. You do get 100 nights to try it out. They'll even take away your old mattress. Helix is giving my audience 25% off site-wide. Go to helixsleep.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.